Friday. Today we have Angela Barbi from Spain, brand ambassador. Welcome everybody from Facebook and Zoom. So I'm going to ask if Ashley and Anna Marie, and normally I would say Angela as well, but she's presenting today, so not Angela. Welcome,
No.
Angela.
Okay.
Welcome, Angela.
Oh, welcome. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. It's a big pleasure and an honor to be here again with you all and represent this wonderful family. I'm very honored to be a brand ambassador, and I'd like to share some of my work with you and some of a painting, so a demo, so that you can understand a bit better how I compose a full painting. I'm going to use a half sheet today, but vertical. I hope it will be visible. If you have any problems, just let me know and I will move the board up or down or whatever way you need it. Just before starting, I don't know if you remember this painting of mine. This is the flowers here at home. This is an abstract. You actually look at it like this, with some gold leaf here in the middle. Then this is another abstract I did this summer. I like to do this type of abstracts, but I can also do representational, which is what I will do today. And this is similar to the one in the presentation file, the presentation brochure. You can see the painting of Calella de Palafrugell. This is a city near Girona, where John and Catherine have been. Beautiful port, and it's rocky, beautiful water, turquoise water. So, but I will not do this. This is very expressive. It's mainly color, which is my first love, always color. I'm in love with color, as you can guess. So today, I cannot share it because I haven't got it here, but Letty can share the reference image, which is from, it's similar, let me check, to this painting, just a second. I have it here. Oops, painting slow. I had the painting here a moment ago of the reference. Anyway, it's a painting from Vineyard Influence. Excuse me. I'll remove them because they keep falling. It's a vineyard of a city called Wen in the Beaujolais area that is north of Lyon. It's almost all vineyards. It's, yes, here. Similar to this, but in vertical, okay? It's the view. If you have a look at the photo, you'll see that this is a very free version of the city. Wen is spelled Oingt. It's a very strange name. That's where our dear friend Didier Georges lives and has his studio, or used to have, because now I think he doesn't have it. So it will be similar to this, but bigger and more abstract. So the vineyards will be this very abstract shape. Okay. So the first thing that I will do, you have, Letty can also share with you the colors that I selected. I selected for the sky, because I will do like the village in negative. The outline, the sky, the shape of the village, I will do in negative skyline. And for that, I will use lavender. This is lunar blue. No, this is lunar black, sorry. because the colors are all similar. This is lunar blue. Yes. Lunar blue, lavender, and white. I mix these three because lavender has a bit of white, so a bit more white won't hurt it. And it has a very nice feeling of, I don't know, light thing, but not so bright either. So this is the first mixture. Then sorry? Anyone who's asking something? I cannot hear. So first I do this painting without drawing. I could draw, but normally I do it without drawing. So what I do is I wet the upper part. This paper is Arches, 300 grams. This is cold pressed. Okay. I don't want it to run so much, so I'm getting rid of the extra water. But here in the rest, I will do like that, so that the paper gets ready.
Can you slide down the paper so we can see the up of the paper, please?
Yes, here.
A little bit more. Down, 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 again. Okay.
Like
yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, you keep telling me if I need to move my paper, my board. So this is just the sky. It's a bit too much water. Just a second, I need to get rid of the water. It's too much. Okay. And now, as I go, I give some shape of some houses and some rooftops, some higher, some lower. And there is a tower here that I will respect. I shouldn't have painted so down, but I will try to get rid of that extra. Oops. Was not clean. Arch doesn't lift very well. Okay, so that's the tower. And here there is like a church that I like very much also. With some towers some houses that follow. Okay. Okay. So now the next step is to draw the roofs of the houses and make an impressionistic version of all the roofs that there are in the distance. So for that, what colors do I use? I use both hematite burnt scarlet. I like hematite burnt scarlet because it has like a reddish tone to it. And this is normal sepia, no, burnt sienna. Sienna, a bit of sienna. So I can do something like this. very light. Then we will add the shadows. Here there are some trees, but there are some houses in the middle of the trees. Okay. Then what I do is I draw with my palette knife. I will clean the blue that there is here. I have another one, a smaller one. This one will be better. So I use some of the color. Can you see the palette here? I use some of the color. And for me, it contrasts. This is a contrast between the freedom here and a little bit of rigidity in the houses. Gives me a nice contrast. So I will wet this part because I don't want the lines to be too rigid. Wet the paper at the bottom. So what I'll do is outline some shapes of rooftops. Here, like when I need more color, I take more color. I can also do verticals. Some accents here, some windows. This is a labyrinth of houses, and here, the tower. Straight lines are very, very good sometimes. Not all of it. It's so good, this pen knife, because it really, it's very sharp. You can really make all the shapes that you want. Okay. Then I will go back to that to finish it. At this point, I'm not looking at the reference because it has to make sense on its own, even without the reference. It has to be balanced. Here, I remember that there was a big line of houses here. Okay, now the city is more or less outlined. And now I will start with the vineyards and all the fields. So what I'll do is I use this big brush. It's Herent, but also the Yo-Yo. I think they have them. They have it. They are two Korean brands. So I just splash water irregularly. Some places there will be more water, so the paint will run more. In some places there will be less. Okay. Now I will use some yellow because some fields are pure yellow, or at least I want them to be yellow. Artist license. Down here, there's also some yellow. And also at the top of the vineyard. Bright light. So now I will introduce some greens. Very light greens. The fields are also like they make like rectangles. So we have some rectangles here, some rectangles there. And now the vineyards. For the vineyards, I use this apatite, green apatite, and I use it with very, very thick. Can you see how thick is the, I don't know if you can see it, but it's very thick. So that's because I want a particular effect. But will I use it on its own? No, because I have some cascade green here, which I will mix. And I have some lunar black, which is lunar black is here. I will mix lunar black with cascade green. And some, where is it? Phthalo blue, turquoise, like we were working yesterday. This is the turquoise. I like to use it here with my fields. I don't know if you can see. Should I move it upward, up? This is my perception of the fields, of the vineyard. I've left some yellow here and here. And what will happen here at the top? At the top, there are some trees also between the houses. And especially here, there are some trees here. Not so many.
Angela, if you can move it to the bottom a little bit, just a
To the
tad
top
to see
or to the bottom?
to the bottom of you. A little bit
Yeah.
more. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because you couldn't see the tower, right?
Yes, we can see now. Thank you.
Okay. I have some perylene green here for some darker tones. And there was a mass of trees here, which I liked a lot. And there is some green here between the houses. Yeah, the good thing happening though is here at the bottom. What I need to do is put some paper here. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, the paint is running. I don't want it to run too much. Something is missing here. If I don't like this line, for example, which I don't particularly like, but I can try to wet it. So this apatite has a fabulous granulation. Fabulous, really fabulous granulation. Can you see here? Some splashes of Luna Black. Any questions? Somebody?
Angela, what do you have your paper attached to? It looks like there's a clear border around it.
Yeah, clear board. And this is just this. Because it's not wet behind it. It's not
That clipboard or the clearboard is like 11 by 17.
probably, I don't know
Yeah.
the sizes in inches. I don't know the sizes, but it's a big clip. I just feel I need some more yellow. Now what I will do is I will...
Before, I've done business with the Lundin family since 1975. We are now the third generation of Lundin.
What is that, Lundin?
I think someone forgot to off the mic.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was for me. Yeah. Some shadows on the houses.
Could you move it lower, please?
Mm-hmm. Wait. Is that better? Do you have the overall view now?
Not so much, Angela, just about 5 centimeters to the top, maybe 7. More, a little more.
A moment. Because I cannot see well what
Yeah,
you
a little bit more, a couple more. There. That matches exactly the top of your painting. We're just missing a little bit of the bottom, but I think that's great.
I love the composition, Angela, and the energy coming down with your greens, the light green to the dark. Very nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Here I have a bit too much water. How do you get rid of the extra water? You can use a thirsty brush, can't you?
A question, do you create your painting in one sitting or do you let the work dry and come back for more glazing and layers?
No. For me, it's very important to do it a la prima. It's very difficult when I touch it again another day. I don't like it. I spoil it. Let's say in some way I spoil it. It's better a la prima. Maybe sometimes, a few times, I have gone back to it. Then, if you a painting like this, if you want to get back to it, what you have to do is spray it and wet it all, and not touch it for the moment. And when the humidity settles in, then you can touch. You can add, for example, the sky or some washes here, but. This type of painting is difficult to, at least I don't know very well how to do that. There are some styles where it's easier. If you're more, let's say, more representational, I think it's easier. Or if you do, yeah, not so much. Okay. Now I really need to put it up and to let all the water, the extra water go. Then I will show you. And in this direction, basically in this direction, in the diagonal. And now some lines for the fields. Like I like it when you go through the fields and you can see like real lines. In this place, we had a gathering of international watercolor artists doing like, in this gathering, we painted outside and the people came with us. They just followed us. And it was plein air all the time. This is a scene that I painted plein air. I painted that several times because going from more abstract to more representational, and it inspired me because I like the negative way to paint the sky. It was a very nice town. Like many French towns, you know, French have these beautiful arranged villages. They have a lot of taste. Very artistic. I think there were a lot of artists there. Well, now I have to wait till it dries. It is quite wet. Does anybody have any questions?
No questions, just that it's mesmerizing. I love your colors, Angela.
Thank you. Did you do that? Did you also paint it?
I did. I followed along.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. Yes, it's like you say, sometimes it's about the journey, not so much the destination, even if it's lovely. It's great to follow you along. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, dear. Yeah. I don't know
Angela, did you tape your paper to the the sheet behind it, or will you just lift that right off of it?
No.
Okay.
It's not. It's not
beautiful.
Attached.
It's so lovely.
In Facebook, we have some very nice comments. From Kristen Clark, we have, and the lovely contrast between the large loose areas and the delicate lines of the village. And Sylvia Thorne says, superb greens, emeralds and chartreuses melting into one another. And Penny Wesley says, looking very good, Angela.
Thank you, Penny. Yeah.
Angela, would you happen to have a mat close by that you could place over to sort of crop it?
I crop it.
Well, I mean, to break away from the edges and all.
No, I don't have a mat, but I have another page like this, you mean?
Yeah. That'll work, yes.
A passepartout.
I haven't got a mat, a passepartout,
Okay.
but I have sheets that I can, because it's long, like this.
Now, I was just meaning around the perimeter of the piece.
Yeah, I haven't got that. No.
Sure.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I have to get some because that really makes the painting look so much better. So much better. If there is the tape, then you remove the tape and that is the mat, right? But I haven't got the tape.
Angela, did you spray the back of the paper before putting it on the board?
No. On other papers I do, but not on ours.
So it's just laying flat and not curling all over the place.
Not flat, not totally flat.
Okay.
I will put it flat. This was under it. This thing was under it. So it's a bit inclined. Because
but I mean, the paper, because the paper's not taped down or not wet on the back, because it's arches and only 140, and you use so much wet on wet, it's not curling and wrinkling. So I thought maybe you sprayed it.
No.
Yeah,
no,
wow.
no. I like the arch paper. It's very sturdy, very, can take a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I didn't spray it, and I sprayed from the front only.
Angela, I love what's happening in the front on the right side. Look at the texture. It's just like it's growing.
This one.
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah, that is a mixture of the yellow I put plus these light green, which is this phthalo. It's phthalo yellow green. I like this color, the phthalo yellow green. This is the one that is here, and the yellow is I think it's cadmium yellow medium hue or something like that. And the greens, as I said, apatite, one of my favorite colors. Apatite green.
Tom would like to know, on Facebook, Tom would like to know which green you used for the trees behind the buildings? Since you're talking about
same greens. The green apatite, a little bit of perylene green, and cascade green. That, for example, is something that I can touch now that it's dry. Because for me, they dried a bit weak. So if I want to enhance a bit, maybe I wet it a little. And then I can use more. Because if you realize the green apatite, it divides into two colors. So sometimes I want it, sometimes I don't. So I use perylene and cascade green to give a bit more depth. But it's good that I pre-wetted it, because otherwise it's too rigid. And now, even after wetting it, after painting it, I mean, I can use the damp brush carefully, not to destroy the sky, to integrate everything. I will wet with another brush. I know there was some green in here.
Angela, when you have a chance, would you be willing to talk and teach a little bit on the subject of many people struggle to paint loosely and freely and use a lot of paint, but rather they do very delicate, tight work?
Very controlled. Yes, very controlled.
Talk about how to paint with more freedom and more looseness.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for asking that question. It's a very important question because, well, for me, it is important. For some people, maybe it's not so important. But for me, it's important because in this way, I can express myself much better. How do you reach this? You have to have you have to try several times just to enjoy yourself. The objective is not to paint. It's not a painting. It's just, as Anna said, it's the process. You have to enjoy yourself. And then whatever comes, accept whatever comes. Some of the things will not be good. Some of the things will be bad, just for the pure enjoyment. And then from there, you can build other things. From the looseness, you can build other buildings or landscapes or whatever. But especially, very, very important, not to have an objective at the beginning to reach this boldness or to reach this freedom. Because we're so tight, we are afraid maybe it won't look good, maybe the others will judge me. You have to break these barriers because they don't help anybody. They don't help you, they don't help the others. You compare yourself, and sometimes it's because we want to give a good impression, but it's ourselves that we are criticizing. You know, we are our worst critics, I think.
So, Angela, are you saying that you would tell people to paint more and more and more and experiment like painting loosely, and then they'll gain confidence? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they'll get confidence. Also, not confidence in themselves, and also confidence in the process.
Right.
In the paint itself. But you, for example, you're quite loose.
Yes.
How did you get to be so loose? I'm sure you spoiled many of your watercolors.
Well, it's actually what I like to do is let the paint sort of guide me, and having a lot of the different all the colors of Daniel Smith, pulling in colors that I'm not comfortable with sometimes because I haven't used them, and seeing
Yes.
with a lot of water and experimenting with it, just observing how the paint reacts to the other paint. And and we do the Thursday mixes, which is wonderful learning. And then we watch you here today, seeing how professional you are with it. And it's just the looseness, and you get confidence, and you just let the paint tell you what to do.
Exactly. Thank you for putting it so well. I couldn't express it, but it's really what I mean. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. It's exactly this. Having the confidence to let the paint tell you what it needs. And sometimes the dialogue between you and the paint will work, and sometimes it won't work so well. But so don't get attached to the result. Just think, okay, next time it will work better. But I'm sure that in the process, there is something that you've learned. And this learning has no price. It's priceless. It's the best thing that you can get, the learning. So, and as you say, paints that you're not comfortable with, colors. And maybe you end up being in love with these colors, but you took the risk to try them. What happens if I mix this one with that one? I've never done it, but what will happen? What will happen? Maybe you will destroy a paper. That's the worst thing that can happen, that you've wasted some paint and some paper, but the learning has no price.
There's never a waste in that sense, I don't think.
Exactly. But I mean, if someone is afraid, no, but then the paper, if we think about it coldly, what is there to lose? Nothing, only to gain. And yeah, go on. Who was going to talk?
That was me, Angela. Buffy. I thank you and Rick both for that advice. Very beautiful words.
Thank you. But really, Rick was so good at explaining that.
I read a quote today. Sorry. What were you going to say?
No, nothing. Go on. Go ahead.
I read a quote today on Instagram, and it said the only wasted paint is the paint that never leaves the tube. And I think that goes with paper as well, that the only wasted paper is the paper that doesn't get used and sits in a drawer.
Yeah, I know many people that say, no, but it's an expensive paint. And so what? I go skiing and I spend so many hundreds of dollars or euros to rent the equipment. I spend so many dollars, and paint, you're going to be stingy for one little bit of paint. No, use it up. Use it. And then see what happens. Use a lot of paint, a lot of water. And as I say, what's the worst thing that can happen? That it doesn't have a good result. And so, but something you've learned. So sometimes we get too attached to the result and not so much to the process, which is the learning. I've painted this sky several times, every time different. I cannot guarantee that the next time it will come out well, because it depends on the temperature, on the amount of water, many things. But even so, I love it. I love, I don't know. Can you see it? Can you see the camera? Can the camera catch it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On Facebook, we have a follow-up question from Sylvia Thorne.
Yes.
Do you practice in your sketchbooks? Keeping watercolor sketchbooks helps me to quickly record ideas, motifs, etc. The light of the moment is the spark in the life of the work.
I don't know if I should say this, but what I do more than sketch, I take a lot of photos. They stimulate me a lot. I mean, I get very inspired, and I just think how I would paint that. And sometimes I do paint it, sometimes I don't. But it's the photograph. Like today, I saw like the sun was coming. It was like maybe 2 p.m., but the sun was coming from the side in such a way, like a mist was lifting, and I had to take a photo of that, and I want to paint it. But for some people, it works, the sketches. For me, I don't know. Maybe I don't have the habit, or I think I don't have the habit. That's it. I would love to have it. Maybe it's something to think about. Like now I'm not.
Do you have
Excuse
other
me?
habits? Do you have other habits that you find have helped you grow and develop as an artist? Or as an artist, you would say, yes, these are habits that are helpful for you?
As an artist, I trained by learning, studying only the color. That is one thing that helped me a lot. Like investigating what happens if you paint the whole page like this in different shades of yellow. How do you feel? Is to connect. The practice, for me, it's very personal. But for me, what helps me the most is to connect my feelings to the painting. And so if I paint in blues, how do I feel when I paint in blues? What sort of what feeling do I get? Or when I paint in red, do I feel excited? Do I feel like I can powerful? And all these feelings when I'm about to paint, they come up subconsciously. They are set in my subconscious mind, and then they come out without me being so mental. So when you draw something and you feel the drawing, it's more a mental process, more a process from your mind, which is nothing wrong about that. But for me, it works more the other way, more the connection with my emotions, because that's how I have fun. And I cannot have the painting as something, a duty, something hard, something I have to suffer. I have suffered many times when painting, but then maybe the following day, the outcome, sometimes, you have to suffer until it sinks. And then the following day, somehow you just, oh, yes, that was it. Yes, that's it. So it's a useful suffering as well. That's what helps me most. I know maybe it's not a very shared or a very common way to see it. Of course, technique also happens. I also learned how to draw. I like drawing people a lot. So I did a course in drawing, all sorts of things. And that helps also. If you go, I should do that more, get into the habit of drawing the objects that I see, etc. And then I will give you another tip. For example, this painting, let's say, you try to do it. I did that in Argentina. I tried, there was a sunset and the landscape by the river was beautiful with some trees and everything. So I tried to paint that. I took a photo and it was not live, but I painted it at home. So I tried to paint that scene and it wasn't really, I wasn't really satisfied. But then what I did was to paint it again, but more summarized. And then again and more summarized. And I ended up with an emotional expression of that moment, of that sunset between the trees and the lake. So, and that is maybe a way towards abstract. You explain less and less and less, but you communicate more and more.
Angela, it would be beautiful if you had available an example series where you started out tight and then ended up with your pure emotional statement.
Yes, that would.
Do you have a series like that?
I have a series.
Away the ones?
No. I don't throw away the old, the let's say the not successful paintings, because I think that sometime later I will want to go back to them. But I have a series. I painted Magnolia or what is this this flower that I have here? Okay, I painted this very like formally, and then the following painting was more like gestural, and then more until it got to abstract. I have that series, yes.
Angela, would you hold your painting up and just show that beautiful abstract work at the bottom, how those greens are just blending together, just really close.
Oh gosh.
Ah, close.
Yes,
Like
that's
that?
beautiful. Yes,
I don't know if I'm in the center or not.
you're fine.
Yeah.
Move to the right. Move it to the right.
Wait. I will move the camera maybe. Here.
Beautiful, Angela. Very nice greens.
Yeah, that works so well.
That is awesome, Angela.
Thank you, Angela.
I have a color crush on all of your beautiful greens, Angela.
Really? Are they romantic?
Romantic
yes.
yes.
Romantic.
They look so positive, Angela. Very beautiful greens.
Beautiful greens, right? This is the one of the turquoise.
And the structure is amazing.
It's beautiful job you did, Angela.
And the structure of granulation is so beautiful. It came so beautiful. I like the graphical content.
Yeah, thank you.
Great demo, Angela. Informative. Beautiful.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Okay. So I think it's the time now.
It is. Well, thank you, Angela. It is passionate work.
Thank you, Angela.
Passionate
Sorry,
lady.
what did you say, John?
It says passionate work from a passionate lady.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for
Bye,
sharing
Angela.
this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Have a nice